Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Who else has a question from the Intergalactic Press Corps?
You can take the girl out of Tottenham, but you can't take Tottenham out of the girl, all right? Oi! Yeah, there you go. I know, it's awesome. I think there's an Arsenal fan, Zaguna in here somewhere. Oh, bless. Someone's got to support them, haven't they? Yes. Very well, very well.
Okay, do we have one more question, or we're going to bring out the next group?
Let's bring out the next group.
Okay, photos are done. I think we're going to escort our guests off, and we'll bring the next group. There is a question, I'm sorry. In the black shirt, go for it.
Guys, you're next. Wonderful to have you here at Destination Star Trek. I guess it would be really wonderful for us to hear from perhaps each of you what you think the magic of Star Trek is and your best experience being a Trekkie, as you will be doing a lot of this weekend.
Sorry. What was the second half of the question? What it means to be...
Your best experience being fans, and you will be doing a lot of the rest of this weekend.
Okay. I think the beauty of Star Trek and why it's been so long-lived is because it's, number one, it's an optimistic view of the future. It's a completely inclusive view of the future, and I think it opened a lot of doors when it was groundbreaking when it came out in the 60s, and that tradition is carried on, and I love that, and I think that's been embraced, obviously, all over the world. And meeting the fans is incredible, and I know personally with my character, because she had to learn about humanity, and so she was very awkward and very innocent in very many ways, and her social skills were not necessarily impressive. And I've heard from a lot of people over the years who maybe are on the autism spectrum or have Asperger's or something like that, who have really been able to relate to Seven, and that she's helped them, and I love that. I love that, you know, I've been able to portray a character that's actually touched someone like that and been able to help in some way. So it's pretty cool. And you guys are amazing fans. I mean, it's the most enthusiastic, passionate, loyal group of people you would ever hope to meet.
That's really true. And I also feel, you know, we really have brought to life a lot of things that in the 60s, things like communicators. Now we have cell phones. The futurists have made a lot of predictions, and Gene Roddenberry had all the scientists and people who are in medicine and genetics, and so many of the things have come true. I also feel that, especially for the female characters, we've been lucky to be role models for a lot of women and men, and especially women, and it's very important. We hear that from fans all the time, how much it has meant to them to have a show that the whole family could watch together, and people who have been in the military, doctors, and also like kids who didn't really have, who were in foster homes. They would look at some of our characters and really relate to it as we were their family. And I would say most of us feel pretty honored to be involved with a show that thinks so well of the future, as Jeri said. And I don't know. Anyway, thank you very much.
It's nice to be back in the old rising damp, old blighty. No, it's absolutely lovely to be here, and I'm very happy to be with all these people, particularly Aron. But the others, yes.
It's great. Thank you guys for having us out again. I enjoyed it. It's my second time doing it. The Media 10, I did it with the 5 captains in 2012. And you guys showed us a wonderful time, so I was excited to come back. And Bob and I will be co-emceeing this weekend, so we're going to have a lot of fun.
Yes, Anthony and I will be emceeing certain of the events. I was told it was not because we were the most popular Star Trek actors, simply the most physically beautiful. And certainly not because we're the funniest. Here, take the mic.
Hi, it's great to be back in the UK. I was here many years ago. I did a film at Shepperton called The Guns of Navarone. And I also worked at Talk of the Town. So tomorrow night I'm singing for the second time in the UK, down at the little pub here, and we'll have a great time. It's great to be here for Star Trek. I had a great time doing DS9, playing Vic Fontaine, and it's good to be part of this convention.
It's always nice to be here, the center of the empire, as it were. And so I'm just delighted. I've been here in London many, many times, in England and Scotland, still part of the country. So I'm delighted to be here. Thanks.
Now, if I could have all your cameras, I'd appreciate it.
Next question.
You asked me. There's a rivalry between each of the series, DS9 and Voyager. Is there a bit of like one-upmanship in terms of viewers?
Well, I guess whoever did whatever show, I mean, for me, I'm going to be killed in about 2 seconds here, but for me, DS9 was the best show because I was part of it. not because I was in it, but I loved the character I played. I loved the characters in the series. So to me, that was my favorite one.
I concur, Jimmy. It was the best show.
That's right. Oh, that's
all
right.
shows.
Of course.
You know, it was a great show. It was the only show. I didn't know there was a Voyager. I thought these guys were on our show too. Oh, I did an episode of Voyager. Why?
I was on Voyager.
I've not gotten so much action before.
John, are you the only actor who was on every one of them except for the original series? So you have absolutely no allegiance? You're kind of the...
Yes, I was on all three, and I have a very strong opinion about which is the best show.
I was on every show but DS9.
There's a reason for that.
And my favorite show is DS9.
Wait, all three, because of course I'm going to say Enterprise is better than, I mean, I appreciate these guys. These are my brothers, but you guys know who the best captain is. Captain Archer. Right, so let's just, no, there's no one-ups, man. Thank you for that question. No, there's no competition between us. Are you kidding me?
I thought we were simply told that the original series was the best one and we should shut up. Is that...
That's obviously not the case, but...
Do you guys fight among yourselves?
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, right here.
Say something profound. I feel very fortunate to have been thrust into that set of circumstances and very lucky that it worked out. I had a friend who had a production company. It was called Miracle Pictures. And their sobriquet was, if it's a good picture, it's a miracle.
Any other questions? Someone, where's my friend in yellow? Who's got a question? Going once, going twice?
All right. What's the best thing about playing a villain? I tell you, the best thing about playing a villain is that you always get the best lines. You know, and you don't always die until the last moment of the last episode of the last series, and then you get the residuals. Who else is a villain?
I would argue that Damar is not a villain. He was, at the end, he redeemed himself and the Dominion.
Because I guess you get to do things that you wouldn't dream of doing in the rest of your life, and you get to enjoy them, and there's no payback.
Nobody else is villains up here, right? Yes. Right? We're all villains, I'm telling you, that's for sure. Is that it? Anything else? Good? We'll see you opening night.
All right, folks. Thanks.
Cheers, thanks.
Hi. How you doing? Hi. You speak English?
Yeah. And then start off in the middle here, please.
And sir, just here in the middle, please. Just by here, thank you.
And to the middle, please.
Down at the bottom.
There's a lot of you in the middle.
This camera, this one. And to this camera here, the big one in the middle, this one. And please. Just over to your left, please.
And then just straight ahead to me, just by here, please. Thank you.
Back to this camera here, please. This middle one, this one. Thank you.
Okay.
Can we get you in the chair? Sitting in the chair, please? That'd be good. And start looking straight in the middle.
Sure.
And straight in the middle, please. And over this way, please.
Just down to the left, please.
And to the right, please. And straight to the middle again, please. And then just here, please. Just on the right.
Top left, please. Top left, please.
Hiya.
Morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Morning, Captain.
And straight in the middle, please. Into the middle, top middle.
Top left,
middle,
and
please.
and sir, just to me on the right, please. Top left, please.
Now here I am, sitting.
And just to me on the right, please, sir. Thank you.
And I'm looking.
And top middle.
And I'm sitting and looking.
Straight ahead, please, sir. Top left, please.
Top middle, top right, please.
Top left, please. And sir, just to me on the right, please. Top left, please.
Can we lean you forward, sir? Lean forward.
Can I lean forward?
Lean forward, yeah. Yep. And top row, please. This camera here, please.
And sir, just to me on the right, please.
To your right, please.
Do I like leaning?
And can you look straight here, please? Sir.
Okay. You got it? Thank you. Save your batteries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sir, looking at the camera.
Okay. See this very quickly. Coming up.
Pierced regularly.
That is fantastic. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Destination Star Trek. I was just backstage, and I tell you, it is an explosion of timelines, multiverses. Pretty much everybody in the universe of Star Trek is backstage waiting to come out and say hello to you. That's very exciting, I say. My name is Jordan Hoffman. I am the author of the One Trek Mind column at StarTrek.com. And before I bring out the man who is going to be hosting this extravaganza, first a benediction. London, the final frontier. This is the voyage of Destination Star Trek.
A whole 2 days ahead of us where we can meet people, buy crap, hang out, drink too much, tread on each other's toes, maybe get backed into by a mobility scooter. All the fun. There's one. All the fun you get at these kind of gatherings. So many, you will not believe how many incredible people are backstage right now waiting to meet you. It is remarkable. The people who've turned up, the people who, and I've been speaking to them backstage, and I'm kind of a fairly good gauge of this kind of thing, they genuinely have a sense of joy to be here. They are genuinely excited by the fact that you are here and you are excited to meet them. You know, they are thrilled and they are looking forward to the weekend almost as much as you are. I'm going to bring them out because some of them have literally just arrived in the building 5-10 minutes ago. They're all a little bit jet lagged, so we're going to rely on you to give them plenty of energy and make sure they know how exciting it is. So let's hear some energy now. Come on. They're going to come out, I'm going to try and bring everyone out, say a few words with them, try and ask questions that aren't too stupid and you haven't heard a million times before. But of course, as you know, everyone here will be here for the whole weekend. You get a chance for a photo opportunity to go and spend some time with them. Someone you love or someone who writes the show? Who you love as well. Let's hear it for the writers. Even when I try to get it, nowhere near as much applause. There wouldn't be a show without the writers. Okay, I'm going to bring out a father and a son to start with. A father and a son who both appeared in the show. Now, I want you to know that only the son is allowed to call this man Daddy in the room, okay? It is, of course, will you welcome onto the stage Daniel Stewart and Jean-Luc Picard, Patrick Stewart! Yes! Great to see you, young man, handsome. Okay. Dan, of course, you played your father's son in the series as well.
Yeah.
That must be weird. How is it weird pretending to be his son when you actually are his son?
Almost as awful as actually being his son.
Yeah. What is the worst thing about him as a father that you can share with us?
The beatings.
Oh, no, come on.
I'd just like to say also at this point, my dad has been pursuing the ultimate prima donna, so he doesn't speak anymore, he just shows up. So I'll be speaking for him and answering his questions.
Well, first of all, though, before we go, we will have some answers from you, sir. I would like you to show everyone your glasses of the future that you're wearing around your neck here. And then,
Specsavers.
Boom. I don't know whether you need to know this, but he fastens his pants in exactly the same way.
They're called Click, you buy them online.
There's a lot of comedy I know that happened behind the scenes when making Next Generation. Is it true whenever there was a crisis on the ship, you would actually throw yourself into Jonathan Frakes' arms and scream?
Jonathan, it is absolutely true. I will demonstrate. No, maybe. Not with me. No, my back hurts. Yeah, we would have something horrible would happen. Captain, down the street, and I would leap into his arms.
Come on.
No. You are a national treasure. And I would scream, "We're all gonna die! We're all gonna die!" Which is not exactly Captain Picard. But there is no record of this, but you have it on my word.
If only someone had filmed that. These days, of course, that would be on YouTube somewhere. We've seen you back on screen. I don't know how many X-Men fans we have in there. We're not going to talk about it. We've seen you now playing that role at different times in his life, and we've seen him, traveling to China.
Oh no, that wasn't always me. Sometimes it was James McAvoy.
But he's such a... I thought you grew the hair back for that part. If we could tempt you back on screen, if there was a suitable reboot of a certain Next Generation, would you become Captain Jean-Luc Picard again for us?
Well, it would have to be under certain strict conditions, wouldn't it? Such as I would have to have a potent love interest, and I am thinking Jennifer Lawrence. Do you have a problem with that?
Jennifer Lawrence as the new Crusher.
Oh, she's back there.
Exactly. The old Crusher's hardly out here saying we want Jennifer Lawrence when we have the original out there.
I take back everything I said. I am very happy with Dr. Crusher.
Of course you are.
Who isn't me?
But you never really... Did you ever get to enjoy Dr. Crusher in the way that so many of us... We must speak euphemistically, there may be young people present, but did you ever get to know Dr. Crusher as fully as you, and indeed we, would have liked you to?
You mean not in a friendly sense, but a carnal sense?
You can be friendly as well as carnal, I don't know.
You can.
Well, you can try. You can fake it.
There is a rumour, it's more than a little rumour, it's substantial, that Wesley Crusher was in fact Jean-Luc's son. Yeah, you do.
How many people believe that? How many people don't believe it but want it to be true?
Yeah, because Wesley Crusher, otherwise known as Will Wheaton, he was a wuss. He was a wuss. Well, he was a nerd. not my son.
Couldn't be your son. We've seen your son, he's enormous.
The size of
He's magnificent. He looks like Shrek has been on steroids. Look at him. He's incredible. What a specimen.
Thank you, Jonathan.
You're here all weekend, of course.
Yes, Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, make sure you grab some time with Patrick this weekend. Make sure you actually enjoy the time with him as much as we all have right here, right now. Patrick, we'll see you, I think, a bit later on. Patrick Stewart, ladies and gentlemen, and Will Wilson. Yes! What a good looking man. Thanks, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, you've just arrived. You just came in.
I thought they'd never leave.
Data is technically dead. Technically, of course, I suspect of all the characters, he would be in some ways the easiest one to bring back.
In some ways.
If you were approached, and I just spoke to Patrick about this, but if you were approached to maybe insert him into a new successful movie that has come up, could you be tempted? Is there any talk? Has anyone made a call?
I could be tempted as long as the rest of the cast of Next Generation were not involved in it. In fact, do they make one-person movies? Well, Tom Hardy did one, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, sometimes people make them and they accidentally get leaked online. You don't mean that kind of a movie. Because you wouldn't need our permission to make that kind of movie. You just knock yourself out. And that is not a euphemism, by the way. I mean, have fun doing it.
I don't even have to speak.
You must miss playing in there, don't you? I know it was a big chunk of your life, and we miss him because, you know, how much did we fall in love with Data? He was just... I was just so excited whenever he was on screen.
Thank you.
What's that? We love Spock too. Yes, but why would you shout that when Spock's not here and Data brackets when is? Oh, I see.
I don't even need to be here. I think the rest of you guys could...
But we can do this anytime. We're excited you're here.
Who's Spock? No, I know exactly. Oh, Spock!
That was my fault. And I take full responsibility. It was that woman she did.
Don't mention Spock. Right.
See, now you've upset it, you see. I mean, I know it was meant well. Looking back on the scenes, was there a favourite one you had? I was watching one of mine this afternoon. You know the episode where you begin in your performing in Christmas Carol?
Yes.
Patrick is directing, Jean-Luc is directing. That's one of my favourites. That's one of my favourites.
You know, I loved playing Scrooge in Christmas Carol. I'm thinking about doing a one-man show. No one's ever done that, have they?
Who would go and see that?
Exactly.
You're here all weekend as well, of course?
I'm here all weekend. I'm yours. Well, we're back to that same old subject.
We are back to that, if you want it to be that way. But it's so lovely to see you, and it's so great you're here. Brent Spiner, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you all. Good to see you.
I'm sorry, I thought you said Spock, which isn't beyond the realms, and I thought, why are you doing that? But of course, I was doing it subconsciously. Okay, John de Lancie! You're like a fine wine. Look how good he looks as he ages, ladies and gentlemen. Let's uncork him and have a little whiff.
Have a lot of fine wine to become a fine wine.
This is a question, I don't know if you've had this before, because I'm trying to do questions, and I went online last night and asked people on Reddit if they had questions, and I have some from some Star Trek fans on Reddit, from our Star Trek, but one of the questions they said was, you may have had this before, if you had the powers of Q, and you must have thought of this, I'm sure, what would you do?
I would, it's not very Q-like, I understand, because it's not quite naughty enough, but I would probably give the same wish that I wished since I was a little boy. Every time you had to blow out the candles on your birthday cake, I wished and would wish for everybody to be happy. And the Q answer would be, I'd like to put organized religion back in the bottle.
So So there's something for everyone, and there's two answers right there. And some of us would find that one solution leads to the other one anyway.
I would think so.
Okay. I was talking to Patrick about working with his son, and of course you performed with your son in one of the episodes.
I did. And the question is?
The question is, how was that?
Oh, well, it's a little bit of a mixed bag, because the thing is this, is that if you have a child, I'm sure you know, you want them to do well. But if you're playing a character as an actor, one does not extend themselves sort of empathetically that far. So I was mostly kind of leaning in and being an actor anymore, but being a parent, watching my son going, oh, you're doing well, yes, okay, oh my gosh, oh, like that, and experiencing that as opposed to being cute. Yeah. So it was. I'm delighted he had a great time. For me, it was a rocky time.
When you said B&Q then, I thought you were saying BNQ, which is the popular line. And it seems to me that there's an opportunity there missing, not having you do that voiceover. You're here all weekend as well, of course?
I am.
Of course, it's John de Lancie, ladies and gentlemen. Someone shouted out, let's bring out some of the women, some of the ladies. One of the things we've always loved about Star Trek is the way they've challenged and often been so far ahead of their time with dealing with social issues which now we perhaps take for granted. I'm going to go on record and say, and I've been thinking about this far too much, I'm sure you all have, my favourite captain, and I've lucky enough to have met Patrick Stewart a few times, lucky to have spent time with Shatner, some of the people. My favourite captain isn't here this evening, it's Janeway. I've done it. I've ruined my friendship with Bill. But she's not here, but we do have two fabulous people coming out right now. If I were to say to you, Tasha Yar, ladies and gentlemen. And if I was to say to you, Dr. Beverly Crusher, you would know it's Denise, Crosby and Gates McFadden. Loving the hat. Hello, lovely. Wow.
Hello, everybody.
That's a proper bit of showbiz going on right there. Okay, let me start with you, Denise. I'm going to ask you about playing yourself and then playing your own daughter. You as a one person and then you as the daughter person.
Well, as you know, I never actually played myself. Right?
I see what you mean.
I played Lieutenant Tasha Yar and Sela. That's what you're asking.
That's what I meant.
Okay. I just want to clarify.
Let's be clear.
Because, playing myself would put me in a league of my own. But, okay. It was incredible. I mean, really challenging and exciting as an actor to be able to play one's own daughter and take that as an acting challenge. But most importantly, it gave me an opportunity to come back to the show and hang out with my buddies and, revisit the whole, be part of it, continuing to be part of it.
Presumably when you first played Tasha, you didn't know they had that in mind, so you didn't perform in a certain way knowing that you would then be echoing that character.
Oh, God, no. We just made it up as we went.
Well, you made it up fabulously.
Oh, my God.
Gates. First of all, Gates is such a great name. Isn't Gates a great name? Gates is a great name.
They don't think so, but,
We had your erstwhile captain out here. Yes. He was a little ungallant, if I may say so, but then he corrected himself. I'm going to ask you the same question. I don't know if we felt fully satisfied by your relationship with the captain.
Well, I can understand how you all might feel that way. But can I say I was very satisfied. Time and time again.
You carry yourself like a satisfied woman.
Ooh la la!
Denise and Gates, they're all the weekend as well. Thank you so much. Really satisfied. Lovely to meet you. Thank you. Wow. And get all the kisses. Okay, there's so many people, this is an embarrassment of riches. I'm going to bring out 3 at once now. And I was backstage and I said to them, because they only have a finite time here in the hall before the big party, how many people are going over to the Fox pub for the party afterwards? Great, okay. I'm going to have a pale ale. So, they've asked me to bring out 3 at once. And really, literally, any of these 3 you could bring out on their own, and we would all love seeing them and hearing them speak. They've asked me to bring out Worf, Geordi, and Dina at the same time. Michael Dorn, LeVar Burton, and of course Marina Sirtis. I've got the photo. Hello sir, how are you? All right, there he is. Give me that, give me that, give me that, give me that. Oh wow, that's strong. Okay. Well, where to start? Well, let's start with Marina. Let's start with the lady here because you're here and everyone knows this, I'm sure.
Hang on. If I'm in the middle,
want to go in the middle?
I'm an Oreo.
No.
That's what I meant.
No, Queen Philip is even worse, I'll be honest with you. Okay.
That's rude, isn't it? That's rude.
It's unusual that I'm the one trying to calm things down.
That's wishful thinking on your part, Dorney. Absolutely. Yes. Jonathan.
You're over here, you're a big football fan, everyone knows that.
Come on, you Spurs!
Wow, I see the love only goes so far.
Isn't it? When it comes to football, they turn really quickly.
Has everyone here seen your tattoo?
Have you seen my tat? No?
Hold it, people sound scared now. Don't worry. It's up on the shoulder. Would you like to see the tattoo? Would you like? Look at this. We don't have cameras here, we do have cameras there.
It's the only tattoo I've got. And my husband said when I got it, you love that team more than you love me. And I said, no, darling, I just loved them longer.
You don't live here now, though. You live in the States.
I live in the States.
Okay, you must love coming back.
I do. I wish I could come back for good. Get me a job here, Jonathan, so I have an excuse to come back to England.
Well, this is kind of a job. We'll do more of these and bring them for these. Okay, let's ask Worf a question. How are you, sir? You're looking fine. You're looking fine. Is it true, and people might know this, I'm not sure that your voice did grow deeper over the years because of the amount of time you spent playing Worf?
Oh, I don't know. It might have. Yes, it did actually. My voice is deep already, but over 7 years it got deeper and deeper until people thought I was putting it on when I answered the phone.
I'm sorry, I'm just still, my knees went weak when you first
No, take a moment. Take a moment.
I just fell in love. You know what, we have an expression in England, gutted. I'm gutted for you because Game of Thrones is a great series. I'm sure there's a lot of crossover love for Game of Thrones here, is there? And if anyone should be the Dornish king, it's Michael Dorn. I thought that would go down bigger. Let's move on. Great to have you here. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, who doesn't love Geordi? I met Geordi years ago. He's completely forgotten this, but I met him years ago, and what was so lovely, I was a huge fan. I fanboyed all over the place. But you were very kind and very sweet with me. This was in America. But you were at this event we were at because you had just started your literacy campaign, your Rainbow Reading.
Reading Rainbow.
I know, which is very hard for me to say, whichever way you do it. So you're still involved with that?
Yeah.
And that's been a big success, hasn't it?
We had a Kickstarter earlier this year, and we managed to raise, before Seth MacFarlane gave us $1 million, we raised 5.4, so the total was $6.4 million.
When you started out, you can't have imagined it would be that big.
No, there was no thought. I mean, we were on during the summer, encouraging kids to read through the medium of television, using the technology at the time to get kids hooked on books.
You know, I've always loved doing the show. I've worked with all of you in the show. And I know that being in a show for that long, especially a show which involves makeup and involves prosthetics and this kind of thing, you had a skin problem for years after, didn't you?
Yeah, for 2 years it was really bad.
And did you have any problems?
I just couldn't see with the visor on.
But did you have... But when it came off, your eyes were fine?
When it came off, I could see fine. Yeah, John.
Yes. When it was on, you couldn't see.
When it was on, I couldn't see. Yeah.
My favorite story, which I forgot and I realized, is that when they put on the visor, there was no way to really hook it on and make it look good. So they took screws and they screwed it in inside of this.
Well, there were flanges between the screws and my head.
So you had a flange screw attachment.
Yeah.
Screw loose comes from, right?
Yeah. From your visor.
And what happened? Do you still have those?
Wake up!
I still have the visor, yes.
You have the visor?
I do, I still have it.
How many visors did you get through?
There was only one.
There was only one visor?
And sometimes I put it on and my wife and I...
That must be the worst night ever, because we've established you can't see what you're doing when you're going to walk.
That's where the fun comes in.
Ladies and gentlemen, give a huge round of applause. They're also here with me. Lovely to see you guys. Okay. We've got so many people to come playing for you later. If you go over to the pub at the party, you know we've got the Enterprise Blues bands. Please go crazy for Casey Midge, Vaughan Armstrong and Steve Rankin. They're all playing there later on. Come on, gentlemen. Look at that, Geordi.
Party, 3 days long. That's what I say, 3-day party, breakfast in bed for 25,000 people.
I don't know if you guys are having fun, but we're starting to.
Yeah.
We have just begun. There's a whole weekend ahead. You're going to the party tonight, right?
He's going to the party tonight.
All right, Enterprise Blues Band, you're going to get close up and personal with us in there, right?
Careful, careful. I've been married 40 years. It's the best 5 years of my life.
Yes.
Gentlemen, I know we need you to lead the way and show us how we should dance to the blues beat you're laying down. So let's see what kind of shapes you want us to throw. Come on, let's get you.
Yeah, you.
5, 6, 7, 8. There you go.
There you go. That's good.
That's I swear I heard a hic go. I swear. That's brilliant.
It's okay whenever you hear cracking, it's just when it hurts.
So we're looking forward to a fantastic weekend with you guys. So everybody come on up to the tables, have a great time, buy out some of that good stuff out there, and come drink some pints with us tonight.
The Enterprise Blues Band, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much. See you there.
And boom. And you just, all of you just got invited back to his room, I think. That's quite something. Okay. Who shall I do next? Oh, this is exciting. I'm excited about this. One of the great things that's happened in the fan community generally is that when something goes, it's not necessarily gone for good anymore. And I don't just mean when a big budget reboot, because, I mean, the people can put pressure. You can put pressure on companies like HBO, like Netflix, other companies, and trying to bring things back. Of course, you know already, I'm sure there's a campaign to try and bring Enterprise back, happening with Netflix. One of the leading lights of that campaign is right here. You know him probably better as Ensign Travis Merriweather. But please go crazy for Anthony Montgomery.
Hello, what's going on, everybody? What's going on, London? Y'all know I love my fans. How you doing, everybody?
Andy, good to see you here, man. Now, not by chance, I imagine, you have a comic book in your hand.
Oh my goodness, yes I do, as a matter of fact. Ladies and gentlemen, miles away, 16-year-old, this looks like me, but he's a teenager, 16-year-old Maxwell Miles, has a clouded history, develops a superhuman ability, gets recruited by a shadowy organization to battle Madam Iniquity and her minions on future Earth. Takes place in 2089. Wanted it in the future, but still close enough to us to be relatable. He also allies with alien refugees and falls into an interstellar war as he explores his family's dark past. So, you know, it's a nice light comedy for you guys.
How many times have you pitched that in exactly that way?
Man, you have no idea.
That was the movie pitch you heard right there.
So that was they call that in Hollywood a 30-second elevator pitch. And I'm launching my own sci-fi franchise, starting with a graphic novel. It's going to be an animated trilogy, the first of which is already done with the animation studio that I'm working with. I've got an amazing cast of characters that are a part of it. I've got at least one actor from every Star Trek series that are a part, including Nichelle, Nicholls, and Michael Dorn, and my entire cast and crew. Scott's going to be playing the leader of the organization that recruits him. It's going to be a lot of fun, and eventually we're going to go live action, and the people that can do it are going to play their live action selves. So if they're actually able to do it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've got you guys come and see me at the table. I'm hosting this weekend. Bob Picardo and I are hosting. I hosted the Women of Star Trek earlier. I'll be hosting again tomorrow and then again on the last day.
And you're selling and signing these?
I have these at my table. I brought 120 copies. About 40 of them are already gone. So you guys come and get the rest of them before we go. Y'all gonna want to join this. This is what Gene Roddenberry did to launch Star Trek. Trust me, we're gonna have some fun, people.
41 copies are gone.
What? 41 copies are gone? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We want to know though, what's happening with the Netflix campaign? How close is that to being a possibility? What's the realistic kind of scenario there? What's the prognosis, Doctor?
For no, that was the pilot. That was the other show. He didn't see Enterprise either. That's not his fault. I keep hearing a lot of these stories that a lot of you guys, and I love you for it, have tried to raise money to build awareness to bring it back for season 5. Realistically, it's never going to happen. As much as we would like it to. I know that's the bearer of bad tidings, but in truth, Paramount would have to say we made a mistake by taking it off the air. Now, what executive that runs a company has ever said to the world that they made a mistake?
But,
I'll wait.
May I just say that what executive in Hollywood has hung around for more than about 3.5 years?
And then there's that. So I hope that it comes back. I just wouldn't hold our breath. But if you guys can rally the planet and make them bring it back, I know the pilot personally. I'll make sure he shows up. How about that?
But it's fact.
That's all I can guarantee.
I think it could still happen. And I think the last season, as you would call it, was the best. I thought it was really hitting its full.
I think we actually found our space legs by season 4, and you guys loved the 4th season the best of all of them, right?
That's the one.
We finally made it, and then it was gone. But we made it longer than the original series. So hey, I have you have me. We're gonna do this for the rest of our lives.
I can see why you're a popular young man. Anthony, go and see him. Buy those comics before they're sold out. Because you get them
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Great to meet you, man. And Anthony Montgomery. Sign it for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Checking on this in right order. We've got some legendary figures from, I always feel weird calling it a franchise, it sounds impersonal, but from this show, from this event, from this thing which has been so important in all our lives. And I'm going to bring out one now. She's coming out with someone. Will you please welcome, I think you do, if I say the words first contact, who he's going to be. So I want you to go nuts for Robert Picardo, but also, let's hear some love for Nichelle Nicholls.
The honor of standing up here with a Star Trek legend because, frankly, we met on the plane flying over and we fell in love.
Nichelle, I know you love being here. I know you love meeting your fans, and I know that you're looking forward to meeting a few this weekend.
Yes, I definitely am. Most of my, well, not all of them, but there are many. That one, and that
one. She's cherry picking her favourites right now. You could win her over if you weren't. Yeah, you got lucky. We don't know for sure she was pointing at you anyway. Could have been you.
Trekdom lives.
So Nichelle, you're here all weekend as well. It's so lovely to have you back in the UK. And I know you're tired because you only just got in.
I'm sorry, you said?
No, don't worry. I said nothing of any importance. But we are just so excited you're here, and we so appreciate you taking the time to come over. Don't we, ladies and gentlemen? Nichelle, I know they're tired, so we won't keep them, but make sure you spend some time with Nichelle this weekend. Nichelle and Ron Mikado, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Everywhere I go, Trekdom follows me. So thank you for being here. You're the greatest. Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. I just got something that I wasn't expecting.
Nichelle Nicholls, ladies and gentlemen.
You can depend on me.
Okay. I'm still recovering from that. So they said to you beforehand, they said, oh, Nichelle's not retired, just bring her out. Really, literally, she's just going to say hello. A, we couldn't get off the fucking stage. B, she wanted to kiss everyone, which is a magnificent result. Please forgive my language. Okay, we've just changed the order a little bit here, so forgive me if I get a bit flaky, but they've asked me to bring out people who we will know from these other voyages. Will you welcome Larry Nemeczek, Andre Barmanis and Ron B. Moore. They're consultants and writers as well. Let's go crazy for the people who really make the show work. Without them, we wouldn't have anything. We have nothing. How are you, sir? I'm very good, you too. Okay. Thank you, it's a classic. Let me ask you about the science in the show then, because it's attracted, I mean, maybe it's even influenced a generation of scientists. There's a lot of people I know, older guys, people like Phil Platt, people like that, who are into science because of their love of Star Trek. Scientifically, what's your proudest achievement, or what do you think was Gene Roddenberry's greatest achievement in the science side of the show?
Well, personally, I think the fact that he went to such great lengths to create a believable starship, something that was logically organized. He spoke to all sorts of scientists and engineers from the RAND Corporation, JPL, and you know, just an astonishing array of people. And Paramount got a little impatient with him. They're just like, you know, put together, you know, a bridge set and then some lights and you're done.
Yeah.
And Gene said, no, this has to be thought out, because in order for the audience to willingly suspend their disbelief, as we like to say in the world of TV and film, they have to believe that this thing, this starship, could be someday possible. And I think that Gene's greatest accomplishment was making something so believable that it inspired, as you said, you know, generations of new scientists and engineers. It's a great anecdote Gene told once about how after the show premiered, 2 or 3 weeks into the run, he got some letters. And one of the things that Gene put a lot of thought into was the sick bay. He thought, you know, here in the present day, it's really pretty primitive, you know. You want somebody's temperature, you stick a thermometer in their mouth or elsewhere. Blood pressure, you put a cuff on them, you know, pulse. It's just all very primitive, sewing people up. Well, Gene said, you know, they're going to have scanning technology, radar, computers. We'll make this thing called the bio. A few weeks after the show premiered, he got letters from like Westinghouse and GE and Stevens saying, how did you know we were working on this stuff? Wow. He's like, I didn't. Just asked myself logical questions and extrapolated into the future.
It's incredible. And you guys are more involved in the writing side.
We gave you a job. All those years
I'm
later.
in visual effects, you're in visual effects, and you're doing one of the story, you were in charge of story?
I've done all kinds of things. Yeah.
They just gave you names on the card, so I wasn't quite sure who was coming. I do apologise. Let me ask you, we were talking about Gene, and of course without Gene there wouldn't be the show, right? It's his spirit that informs both the science of the show, but also that vision of the future, that hopeful vision. What do you think he would be proudest of in your respective fields, your contributions to the show? Because obviously the visual effects that we take for granted today couldn't be achieved way back when.
When we started Next Generation, we were really pushing the envelope. Paramount let us do the effects electronically using videotape, and that was really not done up to that point. It was all done on optical printers and stuff, which was my background at the time. And I think we really pushed the envelope. Back to the other question of science,
sometimes it would get to us and it hadn't been thought out too much. My favorite story scientifically would be reading the script that they had the ship looking at a star that was about to supernova, warping 2 light years away and gonna look at it. And where I'm, you know, that really doesn't work. We need to think that out a little bit. Yeah, you can't wait there for 2 years. The answer I would get most often from some of the producers was, Ron, it's not Nova. And that it wasn't. But we tried. All of us that worked, we tried to keep it as accurate as we could.
No, I hadn't thought of this until you just said this. You said your field. The idea that Gene cooperated with a guy named Stephen Whitfield Poe, who wrote the original classic, The Making of Star Trek, the little paperback, and it was not only a Bible on how they made the show, it was really a lot of people's first introduction to how television was made. And that book inspired so many people to go into television and to understand the mystery of how it was done. I mean, now we have so much media, we're drowning in media, and everyone's so media savvy. But in the 60s and 70s and 80s, it was the only book about Star Trek, but it was also this wonderful guide about how television was made. And for all the people that have come since that have done behind the scenes, working, production-oriented guidebooks, it was a great, I don't know if he intended to be a look ahead, but the deal that he did with him and AMT, where they swapped and got the shuttlecraft miniature for the plastic model kit. I mean, some of those kinds of things. Star Trek invented so much of pop culture, and fandom, and conventions. Those kinds of insights. I mean, I didn't think about it, I just flashed on it. And that was a remarkable thing. And today, thankfully, we have this whole library of Star Trek being not only friendly to itself, but to realizing that people 10 and 20 and 30 years from now are going to want this.
What a great thing though, to jump on board. If you, I don't know how many kids we have or young people here, but to join, I grew up with Star Trek. It was my favourite show as a kid. It was the biggest show in my life. And of course I was lucky enough to see it grow and change. But kids joining now, maybe with the new movies, they have got this rich experience to go back through and this kind of wealth of, you know, other movies and TV and animated series. What an incredible legacy.
Oh yeah, well that's why I'm glad that we have so many people who can hopefully give some context, because we're having so many new fans coming in, and they were not reweighted every week, whether it was every week in the 60s or the 80s or the 90s or the aughts. It's just a big wall of DVDs to them. You know?
The aughts, no one calls it the aughts. I don't know what you're thinking there. But I hope you guys know, we're here because everyone's here because they love the show, and obviously we go crazy when the stars come out, but I like to think that this is a very intelligent, the thin edge, the thin intelligent wedge of fandom, who also love the people who write the show, who produce the show, who are involved in making it look as spectacular as it is, and of course who make sure that the science is consistent. So let's hear it for everyone else who works on the show. I know you'll have a busy weekend as well. Great to have you here. Fabulous. Thank you. Alrighty. There's someone coming out for you now. They keep throwing these people at me, I'm not sure who they are, so please bear with me. If I get the name, if I pronounce his name wrong, because his name sounds weird. Is that the past tense or something? I don't know if I should read this out, if it's the right name, I'm going to do it anyway. So, William Shatner? William Shatner, ladies and gentlemen! There he is! There he is! That's him! He's here! He's real! He lives! He walks among us! He's looking right at me! Look at that! He's looking at you! It's Bill Shatner!
Hello everybody, thank you so much. So glad to be here. Where are we?
It was the force of your charisma knocked me off my feet, Bill. How great to have you here. I grew up with you as the captain. You are always my captain. I'm afraid whether you like it or not. You love these things, don't you?
Yes. I told you monosyllabic answers.
Okay, what I want to ask you is the question. You've already spoken on this a little bit. You know the question I'm going to ask. I want to see if you can elaborate. You're in the United Kingdom. You know that.
Yes.
You're in London.
And the United Kingdom by a hair's breadth.
Just by a hair's breadth. Don't bring that up again. You just got over it.
Yeah.
Right nearby, a lesser science fiction franchise is being rebooted. A thing you might have heard of, Star Wars, right?
Yes.
Now, the guy in charge of that is also involved a little bit in our favourite show. And he's in this part of the country, and you're in this part of the country. And I know there's been some talk that you might well possibly be involved in the third film. I have no idea what he's talking about. And have you maybe shared you haven't had a...
No, not a thing.
Not even a tiny...
A little
polka dot.
Little polka dot.
No, but Bill, you know what I'm asking you.
No, I really do.
Just for the love of
understand
everything that's holy, tell us about. Are you in the movie?
I'm bound.
I can help you out with that. I have some
tablets. You have a laxative. No, my lips are sealed. Can you help me with that? No,
could you wink?
No, I can't wink because it becomes a twitch. Look at that. So there's nothing I could do. I received a communication from J.J. Abrams in which he said, "Are you interested?" I said, "I'm interested." Of course you are. He said, "Don't tell anybody." I said, "I won't tell anybody." And the next day, it was all over Twitter. And then I said, and then he writes me, he emails me, "Thanks a lot for keeping your mouth shut." And I said, "The director of the movie." He said, "Well, we'll fire the director." No, he was he didn't say that. But I mean, it just got out there that all they're curious about.
Well, we need to know.
See, here's the problem.
It's no problem. Just tell us.
Here's the problem. The problem is, how would they bring me into it? Wait a minute. Let me further elucidate.
Where do you see the problems lying in that?
No. Here's the problem. I said to Leonard Nimoy when he was in the first movie.
Can we just enjoy that moment? Okay. He's speaking to Leonard Nimoy about the third movie. Okay, this is what's.
I said to Leonard Nimoy when he was in the first movie. I said, "You know you're old when you go back in time and you're still old." Okay? That's the problem.
That is, I can see why that's a problem.
I mean, what are you going to do with Captain Kirk 50 years later? I mean,
he can do CGI.
But then why have me? Let me tell you an experience. I did a voiceover over the hedge. So Bruce Willis and me and various other American actors who did the voices of this animated movie are at the Cannes Film Festival. We're walking up the red carpeted steps. All the actors were walking up. We're so proud we're at Cannes in a film. There's 4 or 5 other actors walking up those steps at the same time. I turned to Bruce, I said, "Who are they?" He said, "Those are the French actors who did the voices in French." Well, what are we doing here? So that's what I mean.
I don't understand what that has to do with anything.
CGI.
Oh, I see.
CGI.
Sorry. I thought maybe you'd go back in time and Kirk was Le Capitaine. He was French. I thought that's
ask me a question, I'm trying to answer it.
It's hard for me to remember things because I'm standing opposite William Shatner, and that's never happened to you. But when it happens to me, it's a big thing. You've never had to, I almost said endure, experience this.
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm looking forward to being here all weekend and seeing you folks. I hope you'll visit with me and have a good evening. Have a good time tomorrow.
The one, the only, William Shatner, ladies and gentlemen. William Shatner. There were moments when he was talking and he said a word and I thought he was going to go into one of those songs from the album he did with Ben Folds. And I was just so hoping it would happen. All right, let's bring out some of the brilliant women who have made the show so rich, so complex, playing both good people and bad. I know they're already telling me here that we're going to have to start rushing through it, but I'll try and extend it as long as possible. Go crazy for Alice Krige, Hannah Hattai, and Susie Paxson. You're a grown-up person. Hello, nice to meet you. Hello, how lovely to meet you, and lovely to see you again. Well, let's start with Hannah, because in my head, and like so many other people's head, you're still like 5 or 6.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of still look like I'm 5 ever since. You know, I haven't grown too much.
What memories do you have? Because you were a kid then. What memories do you have of filming the show?
You know, I remember getting out of school, getting to leave, which was absolutely awesome, because who wants to be at school when you're a kid, you know? Everyone treated me like a little princess. I was super lucky with that. I remember, most of the later days of filming. The very beginning I don't remember too much because I was so young.
So young, yeah.
It started when I was 4. But, it was amazing.
Wow, that's incredible. And it must be something which I'm sure people come up, you must get recognised for it even today, don't you?
Slightly. I guess I haven't grown too much, but I look a little bit different.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, you can get a drink now. I'm not saying that you're frozen in time.
I can get a drink, but I still get carded every single time, and I probably will for a very long time.
Me too. Dare you. My favourite Borg queen! The Borg queen is here. That's a great part to have, isn't it?
She was wonderful.
Yeah.
Really, really wonderful.
What are your memories of filming? What are the standout moments for you?
Of her, getting sewn into the suit and having to pee, and keeping the unit waiting for 45 minutes while I went to the bathroom.
So did they have to unsew you and sew you back in?
And then we couldn't fit me into the costume because my hands and feet had swollen. So it was the most expensive bathroom trip in the history of filming.
That's quite a memory, and we thank you for sharing that with us. I will never look at that character. That's probably where a lot of that cold fury comes from. You were just busting the gun. The hive toilet, that's what you needed. That's a horrible thought, wasn't it? It's like being at a festival at Glastonbury, that's a hive toilet. Susie?
Yes?
Of course, Kayla.
Kayla, poor dead Kayla, yes.
Now, I don't know how much you can say about this. I am privy to a little bit about what's going on this weekend, but there is something quite special that you're involved in. A kind of, I don't want to say too much, a sort of performance sort of thing.
Sort of a makeup demo that has a little surprise in the midst of it.
So you can't.
And that's all I'll say.
So you can't say any more.
Can't say.
But make sure you don't miss it.
That would be a good thing to say.
And is it happening both days?
It's happening both days. It's happening Saturday in the afternoon in the teens sometime, and Sunday in the teens
Make
sometime.
sure you don't miss it because it's more than you might expect. And it doesn't involve, even though there's a transformation of sort, it doesn't involve that incredible red hair disappearing, I hope.
No, it does not.
That's fabulous.
Well, no, not permanently anyway.
If ever they make a movie about Rebecca Brooks, you know you are going to get so many calls.
Right then, that'd be great.
And we need an actress as good as you to pull that off, I think, because although she was a pretty good actress, I suspect. Okay. Great to have you here, ladies and gentlemen, once again, here all weekend, but don't miss the makeup thing, it's going to be super special. Thank you all so much. Let's give a big round of applause.
Thank you.
See you in the transformation. These guys have appeared in other series of Trek as well as just Voyager, but I think it's Voyager you know them best from. Will you go crazy for Tim Russ and Ethan Phillips? Hey,
hi there, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys very much.
Thanks so much. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be in the United Kingdom.
Lovely to have you here.
The United Kingdom.
Are you singing for us?
I'm singing a couple of songs.
I hear there was singing going to take place. That's what I heard.
This is the man who sings.
I heard you were both going to sing.
No,
they told me to start with you. They told me you were burning to sing.
I have often walked.
Okay, that's enough.
Thank
you. Are you singing with the band this weekend?
Well, I won the band. I will be performing tomorrow night solo, I think, along with James Darren.
Wow.
So he'll be before me or after me, I don't know which.
And where is that? That's in this building? Or
it's going to be in the pub.
In the pub, in the Fox next door. I suspect many of you have never been in a pub before. Give it a try, okay? You'll enjoy it tonight and then enjoy it when you're there as well. Guys, this must be fun. For you to meet the fans to interact like this, is it a joy?
I'm not sure exactly what time we start and all that, but you know, it should be a lot of fun. We'll do about half an hour with the same time.
So. That wasn't the question, but a lovely answer anyway. the question was useless, really, and it was treated with the disdain that it deserved.
I've enjoyed the fans over today. We got here at 11 o'clock this morning and came straight here and just...
I gotta tell you, I cannot stand the fans. I've never really liked them, so it's difficult for me to be here. No,
Okay, it's going to be great. Make sure you don't miss the performances in the pub because it gives a whole other element, and I know you know this, but the whole social side of this get-together is incredible, and that's one of the things that makes it so special and so unlike other gatherings. Guys, it's going to be great. I will be there to hear you sing. I'm going to make you sing again later as well. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Very much. Thank you, guys.
Alrighty. I dropped these and got them out of order, but someone very special is coming up now. I'm going to get them in the right order so I don't mess up later on. That's simple, that's done. Okay. How many people, when they announced they were going back to make a movie, felt a mixture of excitement, but also that cold grip of fear in your spine? That they're going to ruin it, that they're going to mess it up. Especially when I knew, and I don't know if you felt the same way, that we were going back to the characters I'd grown up with, but with different actors. I thought they can't pull this off, and I know some may disagree, but I feel they did it far better than we had any real kind of expectation that anyone could do that. It was an incredible achievement. Both films I love. Well, we have a couple of guys here who are crucial to both those movies. By the way, what should they call the third film? Star Trek 3? No! What should they call it then? There you see. Spock's Return. Spock's Return. The cat's what? Spock's Return. Surely that's a fan movie waiting to happen, isn't it? The search for Spock. Alright, here we go. That's going to happen now. That's probably already happened. Well, if I was to say to you that a certain Captain Pike was coming out to say hello. But if I was to say to you that he's not been feeling that well and he needed a doctor with him. But a certain Bones was in the building. Here we go, will you go crazy for Bruce Greenwood and Karl Urban? Yeah! Karl, great to see you. Bruce, great to see you.
Are you out of your Vulcan minds?
Great to see you here. Of course, officially you shouldn't be here. You're dead. What a horrible thing to have to say to someone.
Anything can happen.
They can't be man. Have you had any discussions?
Any Karl's blood come back? Is that so wrong?
That's such a bad thing.
Why is that a bad thing?
It's not such a bad thing. I think that would be a good thing. Don't you think that would be a good thing? Karl?
Jonathan.
Incredible performance. And I never knew that you could look that much like someone else while still looking like yourself, if you know what I'm saying. Because it's incredible. You must have been a fan when you were a kid, were you?
Yeah, I did. I watched the original series with my dad, and then I watched the DVD box set with my son. And he thought it was hilarious because we were watching it, and he's a kid of our modern generation. And he would be looking at it and going, look, Dad, instead of plasma screens and computers, they've got posters of star systems. Let's go there.
Kids, well, I hope you smacked him down for that kind of shit. Really like you, keep me like. He's here this evening, you have your son with you, we won't bring him out, but a young man is there right now, much better looking than his dad.
He's the new improved version.
Yeah.
He's smarter, wouldn't take much.
Can imagine this with the bits that don't work taken off, and that's what's out the back there. I've got to ask you a personal question from me here. I'm a big fan, I don't know how many other people, we're going to get back to Trek in a minute, but Judge Dredd the movie, did you know that? Okay, they got it right. Incredible movie, incredible cast, really incredible. Any news? I know there's been some talk, any news on another one?
Well, thank you very much for asking. You know, I'm incredibly proud of that film, and it means a lot to me. And there are a lot of people working very, very hard to deliver a sequel, because it is amazing at how many people come up to me and say, I really would like to see another installment of that film. I'm meeting with the filmmakers actually on this trip, and you know, there's a lot of people trying to make it happen. And if it does happen, it's going to be phenomenal. And if it's just a one-off event, then so be it. But we're trying.
Can we do anything to help? Is there mobilise the fan force in a way that hasn't so far been done? Do you think?
Well, yeah. There's a website that you can sign a petition to make it happen. And thank you for anybody here who has actually already signed that. I've done it 50 times.
Yeah. You set up so many Google accounts, haven't you? So many fake Google accounts. Okay.
But seriously, thank you so much. I really, really do appreciate it.
So back to Trek, of course. Are you having meetings while you're over here with JJ? Are you with the team? I believe, I don't know whether this has been announced, but I believe that the script for the third instalment in the new Star Trek has been locked already. They finished that.
I believe that's so. I haven't read it, so don't ask me any questions. But I am actually meeting with JJ in a couple of days, and I'm looking forward to that. And all I can tell you is it's going to be phenomenal. I've got a basic idea of the concept. I think it's going to rock, and I think you guys are going to love it.
If I were to say,
that's all I can say. Without saying anything.
You don't have to say anything. But if we study your reaction, and I will follow through things out, tribbles, anything that comes out. Porks! Porks!
Okay, here we go.
Kevin Bishop! Was that Kevin Bishop? we don't want to see that. Poxy Woss. Boris Hilton. Yes. We should have rehearsed. We should have rehearsed this. You are quite rightly maintaining a healthy distance from this.
Be over there.
You guys are here the whole weekend, of course. Do you enjoy it? I mean, I know that it must be kind of weird in some ways when people want to talk to you about stuff.
This is the first time I've done this, and the thing that kind of, it's really cool. The thing that really surprised me today, which I wasn't really ready for, was even though I only sort of got like a minute or a minute and a half with the people that I talked with, I was really moved a bunch of times, you know, I just really wasn't expecting it, and I'm really grateful to be here. So I'm looking forward to it.
Now you have to say something nice. Go on, you have to be emotional.
I was so moved when he was moved.
You can't piggyback on his genuine emotion.
No, it's in my eyes. I was moved. I was uncomfortable and I had to move the blood forward a couple of steps.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know I'm going to say that all week. Make sure you make the most of it. Bruce Greenwood, Karl.
Thank you very much. Thank you, London. It's a pleasure to be here. I can't wait to meet you all. God bless. Thank you very much.
Okay. Way back in the dawns of time, when Star Trek was just a TV show, and then for a while it was just an animated series, and then they promised us, those of us old enough, there would be a movie, and we were excited about the movie, and the movie came out, and we all thought it was pretty great, but maybe also as great as it could be. Then along they said, there's going to be a second movie. And the second movie exceeded our expectations. And the second movie, I think, cemented Star Trek's place in entertainment history and made it the kind of franchise they could return to and feed us so much more of this great stuff we've grown addicted to. And one of the reasons why that second movie was so great is it was directed by a man who understood what made it work, who respected our intelligence, and who created a masterpiece, I believe, in science fiction filmmaking. He is here right now. Please show your love to Nicholas Meyer. What a thrill to meet. Thank you for coming here. I'm loving your pin. That is one very special pin you have there. There's another one there. Look at that. Wow. We should show that off. Let me ask you about, so many things I could say, but people generally, I know I feel this way, but people think of you as someone who saved Star Trek when maybe it really needed all the help. Were you aware that there was a lot riding on it when you came back, when you started on that second movie? Were you aware that maybe this was the last shot for Star Trek?
I didn't think about it really. I was concentrating on just making the movie.
And after you made the movie, and you no longer had the concert, and what did you think about it?
Then I thought I was the man who saved it.
I need to talk to you about Ricardo Montalban's chest.
Yes. It's his chest.
How was that to be near that chest?
It was thrilling.
How big, approximately, compared to a normal chest, was that chest?
CinemaScope.
Were you at any stage, and I know you are a professional man,
And I'm not passing.
I've been a professional man for many years. Hope to go on. Yes, go on.
Were you tempted to touch the chest? As indeed we have all been over the years.
I refuse to answer that on the grounds that it may tend to incriminate me as a professional man.
As a professional man, you'll be pleased to know I've come to the end of my chest-based material. Let me ask you about Into Darkness, though. What do you think about what they've done with Khan's character? What do you think about the different take on this guy?
To be honest, I didn't understand it. He didn't look like Khan. His chest wasn't like Khan.
Well, did we see his chest? I don't think we saw his chest. I don't think we can say.
QED.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if he'd have had that chest,
yes,
it would have been front and centre.
One would hope. A chest on the side would definitely be misplaced.
Can I ask you, and I think I know what the answer might be, can I ask you if this is one of the strangest conversations you've had on stage? As a professional man.
As a professional man, it's just about the strangest, yes.
What do you make of our love for that film? So many years ago, but still so important to so many people.
I had a friend who had a film production company, and their sobriquet was, if it's a good picture, it's a miracle. And I always thought that that was a kind of a miracle movie, and I'm very grateful that I got to be a part of it and that it's made so many people happy.
Well, we're very grateful that you were part of it as well. Nicholas Meyer, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you spend some time with him. He will sign chests, I believe, is that right? Thank you. Tattoo your chest, Nicholas Meyer. Thank you, Nicholas. All right. We don't have that many more to go to. We're kind of running over time already, but I'm not going to slow down because I want to spend some time with these guys. I know you will as well. If I were to say to you two small, three-letter words, ROM and NOG, you would know I'm about to bring in Grodénchik and Aron Eisenberg. Hey guys, how's it going? Hello, hello. How are you? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I'm excited to meet you. Nice to meet you. I'm hiding behind you. You don't hide behind me. Come here. No one wants to see me. They want to see you. Okay. Let me ask you a question for both of you first. Are you getting back into your costumes this weekend at any time?
We are. Yes, we are tomorrow. And the makeup actually as well.
The makeup before?
Yes, John Paladin is doing that for us tomorrow.
Wow.
Tomorrow, early, very early.
Our original wardrobe from the series. A collector, I can't think of his name right now, Schofield, Francis Schofield, collector from Phoenix, Arizona. He bought these at auction, at Christie's, I think. Paramount auctioned them off, and he has more than two, but he donated two costumes for us to wear for this thing we're doing.
From the actual show, and they still fit us.
Wow.
Well.
Any chance that we can get a skit from Ferengi Family Hour? Do you think?
A skit from the Ferengi Family Hour.
So
you
can't put him on the spot like that.
Okay.
He needs time to prepare.
You mean right now?
I mean right now. I just thought there's no harm in asking.
You have a song from there you can sing.
I don't remember.
I don't know if they can do this, but would you like to sing that?
I think they mean the show from tomorrow, something from tomorrow.
You mean something from we're going to do something tomorrow?
Yeah, I guess maybe.
You're doing well. I was asking you to do something
The Family
now.
Hour was a show we did years ago.
I know. That's why I'm asking you to do something
It's a
now.
long time ago, man. I don't remember that much. Can I keep touching you?
Yeah,
I like touching you. It's fun to touch.
I know Ricardo Montalban, but it's all me. So you're doing a performance tomorrow?
Don't touch me.
I think you
I'm glad you know that I'm kidding.
I think he wants us to do something now because nobody's going to be here tomorrow to see us because we're on like 6:30 in the morning.
No, what time
no. We're not on that early. We get ready around that time.
We go into makeup at 6:30?
No, 7:30.
7:30 makeup.
Yeah, relax.
And then what time are we on here tomorrow?
Are we on this stage?
Guys, you know what? We can check the schedule for this. We all have a. We don't have to do this now. We can all do this. You can do this.
We don't know what we're doing tomorrow, really.
We will do a little something tomorrow as Nog and Rom, although we probably sound like Nog and Rom right now, don't we?
I think you always sound a bit like Nog and Rom, don't you?
Yeah.
That's true, always.
Okay. You know the.
We should do the Moogie.
Well, whose idea was?
No, he's got this. This one's good. You'll like this one.
Don't build it up so much.
I'm so upset.
Because it could only be...
They've already heard it.
It could only be disappointed.
There's nothing to build up. It's not a surprise. They've heard it for 7 years. Wait, now you're going to touch that microphone and give that microphone to someone? That's just disgusting.
James Darren is going to get this microphone.
No, maybe Jeri Ryan is going to get that microphone. I don't think she's going to be very happy about that, my friend.
We've got a special mic for Joey. We won't let her touch that one.
Jeri Ryan gets a special mic. I'm sorry, it's okay.
Jeri Ryan and I exchange bodily fluids would be fabulous.
I wonder whether we're going to each other. We don't really want to go. I'm distancing myself from this conversation. You exchanging fluids with Jeri Ryan against her will is not something you want to talk about on stage.
I don't know. You're talking over him. I can't hear him.
Okay.
He's very upset.
Moogie, let's have Moogie.
I say Moogie. Moogie.
That's what we like. So, the Nog and Rom Show. Check your schedules because no one knows when it's happening.
Very early in the morning.
It's very early.
It's not that early in the morning. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Great to meet you. Fabulous. Fabulous movies. All right. Only two more, I'm afraid. Only two more here, but of course the whole weekend lies ahead of you, and that's the exciting thing. This is someone who has never been to Destination before. This is his first time here on stage. He has worked with some of these people before. He's a veteran of sorts. He worked and survived the experience with Bill Shatner back on T.J. Hooker. Do you remember T.J. Hooker? That was a great show, wasn't it? They don't make them like that anymore. Here he is. Go crazy for James Darren, ladies and gentlemen. Rick Fontaine. Here he is. There he is. That is a good-looking showbiz superstar right there.
Good evening, thank you. Thank you very much.
So this is your first time here, sir?
It's on the stage?
On this stage, in this event, rather, not the UK.
I thought no, not the first time in the UK. I've been here many times. I did a film called The Guns of Aron. I worked at Talk of the Town, which is a great club here in the UK, and I've been here on vacation. So I'm having a good time. I'm looking forward to just, I love it here. Coming from the States, I mean, this is so civil. Driving from the airport, there wasn't one horn. Now, if you've been to New York City, that's all you hear. Get out of the way, your mother, get that. I mean, it's so sweet. It's nice. I'm moving here tomorrow. Actually, I'm singing tomorrow night.
Are you singing in here, or are you also...
No, I'm singing at Fox's pub.
The Fox pub, okay. Awesome.
I got the world on the string, sitting on a rainbow. Got the string around my finger. What a world, what a life, I'm in love. That's one of the songs.
Wow, come on. You'd be crazy to miss it. Don't miss it. It's tomorrow night at the Fox. He's here during the daytime as well. James Darren,
thank you.
A true legend and the king of the show business. Thank you, sir. Wonderful to meet you. Well, we only have time for one more on this stage this evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've had a good time. I hope you're in the mood for a full weekend of everything Trek. I know you'd like to join me in thanking everyone, but let's say that till after we've met our last person here this evening. If there were 9, we'd all have a favourite number, and there'd be plenty to go around. We've only got the one here this evening. 7 of 9. Jeri Ryan, ladies and gentlemen, here she is! lovely. Wow. Chris Seven and Laura in the same evening. Fabulous to have you here. I know we have a friend in common, Phil Platt.
Oh my God, I met Phil.
And he talks about you as a genuine science nerd. He said you have a real enthusiasm for science.
I'm a huge science geek.
Always the case, or after Star Trek, or did that amplify?
Oh, no. That was always the case. When I was in high school and I was getting ready to go to college, I had to decide between majoring in theater and majoring in biomedical engineering. I've always been a big science nerd.
Biomedical engineering? That is what my son is studying at university right now.
Seriously?
Obviously didn't get it from me. Okay. But you have some stuff from the show in your house, I believe, don't you? Is that right?
I have my Borg alcove.
You have your
in our game. I do.
Whereabouts in the house? Where is it in the house?
In our game room, there's a pool table.
Are people allowed in to visit your alcove?
No.
What if they
special exception.
What if some of us came out and we promised to touch nothing, just look at it?
And wipe up the drool after. Yes, it'd be fine.
Am I right in thinking you joined the cast about midway through, didn't you?
Yes, season 4.
How was that? Was that strange coming in after they'd already all got to know each other?
Yeah. I mean, that's never an easy situation, no matter what it is. But I was an Army brat growing up, so we moved around a lot, and I was always the new kid. We always moved in the middle of the school year, and so I was sort of used to that experience. And in my career at that point, I was kind of the designated pinch hitter anyway for shows, because I was always at it when a show was already running. So it's hard, and it's especially awkward when one of the actors who's been there from the beginning is leaving the show, not necessarily by choice. And so yeah, it was uncomfortable. Didn't make it easy, but
you thrived.
I was lucky, but I also was very, very lucky to be given a character that was so rich to play as an actor.
Do you find is the fan interest ever? Obviously, people love the character and love what you give them, but obviously at the same time, you're an attractive woman in a role which fanboys find to be kind of like, say, well, a bee, that's some pollen right there. Does that ever? Do you get awkward with that? Do you ever find that? Is that weird?
Is it weird? Yeah, sometimes it can be pretty weird.
Is it weird right now? Do you want me to? I'm trying not to make it weird. But I just wonder whether, because it must be, because we love Bill Shatner, but he doesn't get the same kind of attention, you know what I'm saying?
No, that's true. But what you'll notice, where is he?
Oh, he's not gone. He's in a restaurant somewhere.
He's long gone. I have a bodyguard. You might have noticed the 6'8" large guy who's with me. Yeah, I have to have a bodyguard because I have stalkers. And so you get the downside of it.
That suddenly got dark, and now I'm regretting asking that for any number of reasons.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah, that did go dark. Sorry.
Do you know, I think the other guy said, this was something that occurred to me last night, because I was looking on the web at various Star Trek sites and fan sites, so I wonder, do you ever go on there, do you ever lurk on sites and see what people are saying about your performances or the show in general?
I did when I first got on the show, because I was excited, and you're new, and you want to see whatever, and you know that the fan base is very enthusiastic, notoriously so. And so yeah, I went on, all the chats and wanted to see what other comments. Don't read the comments ever. You learn this. You learn it because there's going to be positive and negative things for anything that you do, and there's going to be some fans who love what you do and some fans that don't. But the ones who don't are the ones who inhabit the chat rooms and the comment section of videos. So you learn these things.
What's the meanest thing you ever read about yourself on there that stayed in your head? Tell us one, no, because now you will own it and it will no longer have any power over you. That's my theory.
No, I don't even remember them verbatim, but there are videos from did you look some up? Oh, that'd be brilliant.
I did. I wouldn't do that to you. So it hasn't. So you've moved on. You don't know. But you must have seen there's a hell of a lot of positive stuff as well.
Oh, of course, absolutely. And this was a few years ago when we did this. This was back way before social media. This was before Twitter and all of that. And so it was fan mail. You got actual letters in the mail. So we still get some, but for the most part, now they can talk to you on Twitter, or they can talk to you on Facebook, or they can talk to you on whatever the other ones are, Tumblr or whatever. But then it was letters, and so the fan mail was pouring in the beginning, because I've never had fan mail before, it's very exciting. And you have a lot of downtime on a set, so I'd sit in my trailer and I'd read every letter, and I would respond. So when the first few months of getting fan mail, I thought, okay, well, they've sent they've taken the time to write me a letter. The least I can do is write them back and answer their questions. But there's like some 6-page letters. And I was going, is this normal? Does people do this? Am I supposed to be doing this? And then I started getting like the weird fan mail, which comes.
Again, apologies.
And then they tell you can't do that. The security guys say.
What was in a 6-page letter? What kind of areas did that person?
Oh, it gets weird. Oh, there's like all kinds of.
What kind of stuff? Was this stuff about their life or stuff about their projections on the year?
Oh no. Like intimate details of their lives and that's the thing that's different with being on a TV show, I think, than being in movies. If you're in a movie, you're a movie star, and there's sort of distance and this sort of thing about you, and people don't typically approach. If you're on TV, you're in their home. You're in their living room every week, and so some people for whom science fiction is a maybe nebulous concept, they don't have that distance, and they think that because they see you every week in their living room that you have this personal relationship with them, and so they're filling me in on the kids and the pets. And
it's kind of nice in a deeply unsettling way, I'm sure, if you're receiving it. But certainly, I feel like I know all the characters in the show, and I think I want them to be the characters some of the time.
I know, it's very disappointing.
Not disappointing at all. It's lovely that we got both of you. It's lovely you're here. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeri Ryan! Have a fabulous weekend. It's lovely to meet you. I'll be round to see the alcohol. That's all the guests we have here. Well, we've kind of overrun. Apologies. They are asking me to remind you to go over to the Fox pub if you are of legal drinking age. Enjoy the band this evening. Make sure you catch the other performances. One other thing they've asked me to do. Tomorrow morning, back in 2012, they set a world record here. I'm sure many of you know this. The largest number of people, there's someone who's probably the largest number of people in Star Trek outfit. You can come as anyone you want, but if you've got some kind of a Star Trek outfit with you, please join tomorrow morning, 8:30 in the morning. I know it's early start, but they're going to do it. And this is for Macmillan Cancer. They're raising money as well, and they're going to try and set a new world record. So if you can join in then, everyone would love you for that. So please do try and do that. Other than that, I'm a fan as well. I'm having a great time here. I hope you have the best time this weekend you can. Enjoy meeting those guys. Enjoy spending time with each other. Take care of yourselves. May the force be with you.